go back to Syria. Right now, he's holding, in all fairness, he's holding millions of people. That would be all over the place if he wasn't holding them. So he wants to repatriate. He wants to have them go back into the area that he's looking at. But we'll see. We'll see how he does it. He can do it in a soft manner. He can do it in a very tough manner. And if he does it unfairly, he's going to pay a very big economic price. Republican Party and president, but the Republican Party has been treated extremely badly by the Democrats, very unfairly. Because they have a tiny margin in the House, they have eviscerated the rules. They don't give us any fair play. It's the most unfair situation people have seen. No lawyers, you can't have lawyers, you can't speak, you can't do anything. You virtually can't do anything. And then on top of it, they have a guy named Schiff, and Nancy Pelosi knows all this because she's just as guilty as he is. But you have a man named Schiff, where I had a perfect phone call with the president of Ukraine. Like, I mean, perfect. People read it, but they don't read that. They heard Schiff's version of it. He defrauded the American public. He gave the most horrible rendition, adding his own words. I mean, Mark Meadows is here. I think I can say honestly, Mark, you didn't believe it when you heard it. And Mark's never heard anything like it. And many of the people that we work with, including Democrats, have never heard anything like it. He made up a phone call. He made it up. Because what happened is they spoke about a day too early. They heard a whistleblower who came out with a false story. You know, people say, oh, it was fairly close. It wasn't close at all. What the whistleblower said bore no relationship to what the call was. We have a transcribed call done by professionals. And the call was a perfect call. But Schiff made it up. Then it turns out that the whistleblower was in cahoots with Schiff. Then it turns out that the whistleblower is a Democrat, strong Democrat, and is working with one of my opponents as a Democrat that I might end up running against. The whole thing is a scam. It's a fix. And we wrote a letter yesterday. It probably ends up being a big Supreme Court case. Maybe it goes a long time. I don't know. But the Republican Party has been treated unbelievably badly and unfairly by the Democrats. Well, yeah, that sounds something. Well, we would if they give us our rights. It depends. If they vote and say you can't have lawyers, you can't ask questions, you can't have anybody present, all of these crazy things. And even some of the reporters said to me, it really is an unfair situation. They ask all the questions, and then, for instance, the ambassador who testified was a fine gentleman. He gave great testimony for us. But we don't get to do any of that or show any of that. So they brought out only the couple of negative things, all which were knocked out by his other statement. It was a great witness for us, but if you would have listened to them, you would have said it was a better witness for them. It wasn't even close. He was a fine gentleman. And we saw that, and we said, that's very unfair. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think they feel that I'm driving a tough bargain. You have to. You do a good job, Paul. Much a lot. We are so far down in terms of where we started from. The presidents have done a good job for many years since the World Trade Organization was founded. China
Hello.
in 2001.
Need cup here. Manifest attached for a supplies run. If you
So
be so
I told
kind.
that to President Xi. I said, you know, this can't be like a 50-50 deal. If it's a 50-50 deal, you're way down here. So a 50-50 deal doesn't work, right? You got to have a little balance. This has to be a better deal from our standpoint. And I think they fully understand it. One of the really good meetings I had today was with opioids and drugs, fentanyl, in particular, with respect to the question. They are really much better. It's a much different situation. in this country and in the world, in the whole world. But no, I think they have a lot of respect for us. First time they've ever respected us. I think China has a lot of respect for me and for our country and for what we're doing. And I think they can't believe what they've gotten away with for so many years. Well, the NBA is a different thing. I mean, I watch this guy, Steve Kerr, and he was like a little boy. He was so scared to be even answering the question. He couldn't answer the question. He was shaking. I don't know. I don't know. He didn't know how to answer the question. And he'll talk about the United States for a day. I watch Popovich sort of the same thing. But they don't bad enough to say when it comes to China. They don't want to say anything bad. I thought it was pretty sad, actually. It'll be very interesting. Excuse me. They have to work out their own situation. They know what they're doing. But I watch the way that, like, Popovich, some of the others were pandering to China. When they get to our own country, they don't respect us. It's like they don't respect us. I said, what is this? To me, it's very sad. Well, he's falling like a rock. We have him on tape with corruption. The prosecutor, this guy was $2 billion. So we're not going to give you the $2 billion or whatever the amount was. The prosecutor. Lo and behold, the prosecutor was done. And that was the prosecutor. $1.2 billion. That's a lot of money. And then his son takes out $1.5 billion from China. And by the way, the $50,000 a month that he was getting from Ukraine looks like it's $168,000 split from him and somebody else, his friend. And also there's a payment of about $3 million to his son. His son is thrown out of the Navy. So Biden's dropping like a rock. I don't think he's going to make it. I didn't think he was going to make it for a long time. I don't think he's going to make it. And I guess this is one way. He didn't say that until right now, and he sees what's happening to him. I guess he's no longer the front runner. Because I know he's going through a lot. He's been hit, and he's been put Here's a man who is on tape saying exactly what he's going to do in terms of corruption, and he gets away with it. If that ever happened to a Republican, they'd be getting the electric chair right now. They'd be right now being walked into the electric chair. It's a whole different thing. What Joe Biden said on tape, like he was tape. What he said on tape, and the fake media doesn't want to play with it. They hardly play it. So I feel it's too bad what's happening. He's sinking, his campaign's sinking. But he walked away and
Hey, long time no see, you two. Bev, you didn't tell me she was in town.
This holiday and I have been reappropriating supplies from the cabal. She's keeping a low profile at the moment.
Tag the box, I'll fly him out. Can't wait.
$168,000, and he gets $3 million payments, and all of this money. And the kid has no expertise in energy, and it's an energy company.
Off bandits try to beat us to it.
You and I both know much more than he does, John. And then you walk into China, a couple of days later, 10 days later, to be exact, you get $1.5 billion out of China. He's got no expertise, and I have friends that are the smartest people in Wall Street. I said, is that possible? They say, no, it's not possible.
Not so fast. I'm sending you coordinates a short ways from your position.
I've got a fix on it too. I'll head over that way. Last one to the courtyard's a drag face.
How colorful.
Yeah, if the rules are fair, because I don't know exactly your definition. If Republicans get a fair shake, because the Republicans have been, look, we were very nice to them. When Paul Ryan was the speaker, he really wouldn't give subpoenas. Good, bad, or indifferent. Here's a man that knows it very well. They go in with all of the corruption that you've been reading about and all of the things that they did wrong with Comey and all of these people, all of the things they did wrong. When we wanted a subpoena, meaning they wanted a subpoena, it was very hard to get it, and I'm not sure he ever even issued a subpoena. And Nancy Pelosi issues subpoenas. Come on in and get them. Give them to Nadler. Give them to crooked. This shit is one crooked guy. I made up my phone call. In the United States, he made up my phone call. Now, I've had people that say I didn't like the way you talk. The Ukrainian president said, no, I heard Schiff. I heard Schiff. Like I said, that's how I said. I said, well, let me see what he said. A lot of people say that. And frankly, I think if it wasn't pretty, I don't know if anybody would have even noticed it. He took my really, believe it or not, congenial and gentle words, and he made me sound like a terrible thing. He defrauded the American public. I mean, honestly, I don't know what can happen, but if there are those things, he should be prosecuted. He should certainly be impeached, but he should be prosecuted for what he did. And I think it's a very bad leader. What happened is, if they would have seen the transcript, what's even more important? Really plain vanilla. No motion, no nothing. It's a good people that he's a Democrat, headed by a Democrat lawyer, a big Democrat lawyer. This is a con job. This is a con being perpetrated in the United States public, in the world. And the world is watching, and they get it better than a lot of other people. But if hold this shit up, they're very slow people want to see something, even though I only get negative press but that's the way it is. So I think that what you have to do is read the transcript. But you know what's almost as good as the transcript, I think, is the Ukrainian president saying, even though they were talking about no pressure, the foreign minister of Ukraine saying, no, it was a very normal call. There was no pressure at all. What is bad is when you see all of the elements, when you see that Schiff saw the whistleblower, when you see what the whistleblower said about the phone call, and it was totally different. He made it up. And I don't know why a person that defrauds the American public should be protected. Okay. Well, that I don't know. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I can say this. I assume it was for leaks. I have no idea. I'm just answering. Because this city is like the leaking capital of the world. If you want to get something out to the press, all you have to do is hand it to somebody in Washington. So I assume it was for leaks. I mean, I've read that, and it doesn't seem like a big deal. What is a big deal? I think they're probably trying to protect it from leaks. But here's the other thing. We gave that transcript over almost immediately. It wasn't like we waited till now. Till now would be immediately, because it's only been doing it for 3 weeks. We gave that transcript up almost immediately. And you know, when I heard Schiff's phony version, and when I heard what was being horribly said by this so-called whistleblower, and I'd like to find who is the person in between the whistleblower and hearing about the conversation. The conversation was, I think, a perfect conversation. But who's the person giving this information? If that person exists, I'm not sure that person exists. But I think it's important, and I say this to Congress, I think it's important to find out who that person is. Because we could have a spy, and I don't want to have spies when I'm negotiating with China and Syria and all of the countries. If you look at Turkey with Erdogan, I have calls with all these
We're going still again to set up a whole bunch of turrets.
I don't want to have spies. I want to be I don't want to that somebody interprets the law. I don't mind the misinterpretation. Because that law was perfect. You read the whistleblower's report. That was no resemblance to what the law was. And we talked about it. So what we're going to do very
stolen cash.
left the
They
UK.
must be bringing in supplies from all of their old hiding grounds to be able to survive
What
on it.
I'm going to try and
Do me a favor and plop down a beacon, would
because I
you?
understand where the people from the UK are. And frankly, a lot of Americans feel the same way. I was telling Boris, we have a lot of Americans that they side on the fact that
Signal screen. Here I come.
wonderful
Those
parents
supplies
lost
should
their
keep the
son.
farm up and running for a
And the
while.
woman was
Another job
driving
well
on the wrong
done.
side of the road. And that can happen. You know, those are the opposite roads. That happens. I won't say it ever happened to me, but it did. When you
Hang
get
on a
used to
second.
driving on our system, and
You
then
see
you're
what
all
I
of a
see?
sudden in the other system when you're driving, it happens.
Another cache of supplies.
Very careful.
But these are a bit
So a young man was
familiar, aren't
killed. The person that was driving
Space
the
ether
automobile
chuggers. They took our stuff.
has diplomatic immunity.
So the Fallen stole from us before we stole what they stole from the Red
and see if
Legion.
we can do something.
they? All's fair
It
in love and war, I
was an
suppose.
accident. It was a terrible accident. We're going to speak to her, and we're going to see the person driving the car, the wife of the diplomat. We're going to speak to her and see what we can come up with so that there can be some healing. There's tremendous anger over it. It's a terrible incident. There's tremendous anger. And I understand the anger from the other side very much.
Secure that cache, and Miss Holiday will be by in 2 shakes.
No can do, Dev. Could be 100 fallen hiding out in those buildings. I'll wait for the all clear.
Okay. To your second question, absolutely not. I had no idea that he was doing that. To the first question, he absolutely wanted to become the FBI director. And
Not
I said
all
no.
clear. Definitely
I said,
not
listen,
all
you've been
clear.
there for, I believe it was
Too hot
12
for me
years.
to help out.
And I said no.
I don't have line of
And
sight
it
either.
has since been proven that I
You're
was
on your
right.
own,
Plus, we
you
have
two.
witnesses. I
Be
interviewed
brave,
numerous people
as
that
they
day.
say.
And he was one of the numerous people making the decision ultimately. But he was one of the people I said no. Nicely, respectfully. Because I wasn't one of the reasons I said no. Who knows? But I did have conflicts with Robert Mueller. We had a business dispute. I thought we had three basic conflicts. But I thought he was there for 12 years. That was long enough, especially when you saw what happened to the FBI. And you have to understand, nobody respects the FBI more than I do. And I think if you took a vote in the FBI, they'd vote for president right now. Vast majority. They're great people. I know a lot of them. But the leadership was terrible. Whether it was Coleman or Mueller or any type of when you look at strong, when you look at the insurance policy, you know, she's going to win. Just in case she doesn't have an insurance policy. Okay, it's one thing. You know what it is. So when you look at that, no, Robert Mueller wanted a job to be the director. And he turned it very nicely and respectfully down. The other element of your question, I never heard that until just recently when it's being recorded. Go ahead. Well, China wants to make a deal. In my opinion, China wants to make a deal more than I do. But look, I'm very despite what was said, there's no inflation. There's very good inflation because they've eaten the tariffs. They've evaluated their tariffs. They're pouring a lot of money. Now they've lost 3.5 million jobs. The change is breaking up. They want to make a deal. What do I want to make a deal? And the answer would be if we make the right deal, I'd love to do it. I think it would be a great deal for Chinese. There's so many it's been a rough time for China. China's got many trillions of dollars that we've gone up with. Since I've been elected, many trillions of dollars have been increased the value of, if you call it value, if you call it worth or value of our country. It's not just stock market, but in our country. Our economy is bigger and stronger. And I believe if my opponent got in, he would have had a tremendous life. And don't forget, I only look at our numbers from the day after the election, because there was euphoria when I got elected. And we picked up a tremendous amount from, let's say, the 9th of November to January 20th when we had the inauguration. And it's been that way ever since. But China wants to make a deal very badly, and if we can make a deal, we're going to make a deal. There's a really good chance. There's a really good chance. I really am taking that to the Attorney General, highly respected man, very highly principled man. I did read the Comey report, 78 pages, total kill. And I think it does, frankly, a lot to the Attorney General that decided not to prosecute on that report, because I think most people reading that report would have done that. That report was horrible for Comey, horrible. But he's a highly principled man, and I'm leaving it up to him. No, we're talking about it. Nobody said, I want to go in, I want to go in. Tell me that. He's been telling that virtually. He's been saying it for many years before me. And, this is like Israel and the Palestinians. Okay? There's only one difference. Maybe the hatred's even greater. Is that possible? Maybe not. But it's this is a very, very serious issue that's come over many years. Yes, sir.
Sky looks clear. I'm headed your way to pick up the goods. Farm will really appreciate it. Heck of a job, you two.
Quite. Now, do me a favor and see if there's any tea still intact.
Our alliances have taken advantage of us. If you look at how much money we spend on NATO and how much money countries from Europe, who are really a much bigger beneficiary than we are. Okay? They're there and we're here, many miles away. Our alliances, in many cases, have taken tremendous advantage of us. If you look at NATO, I got them to pay $100 million more. The Secretary General Stoltenberg came out with a report recently that because of President Trump, the other countries, 28 countries, so 27, not including us, they paid over $100 billion more because of me. But still, as good as that is, sounds good, it's nothing compared to the kind of numbers. So I'm very happy with that. But the United States is paying over 4%, and Germany is paying 1%. Maybe a tiny bit more, but I actually think the way you calculate it, because you look at it, probably less than 1%. France is paying less than what they're supposed to. Out of the 28 countries, 20 of them are delinquent. You know, the delinquent, that's no real estate. He's delinquent with his rent. They're delinquent with their payment. They owe us a tremendous amount, and they never pay us back. Because if Germany doesn't pay, they don't add that up. They just say, oh, that's okay. Then they don't pay again. Then if you go back that way, like the old-fashioned way, you don't pay and you owe it. But they don't pay it, they just go into the next year. They owe us hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars. So no, I don't look at it that way. Now the Kurds are fighting for the land, just so you understand. They're fighting for their land. And somebody wrote in a very, very powerful article today. They didn't help us in the Second World War. They didn't help us with Normandy, as an example. They mentioned names of different battles. They were there, but they're there to help us with their land, and that's a different thing. In addition to that, we have spent tremendous amounts of money on helping the Kurds in terms of ammunition, in terms of weapons, in terms of money, in terms of pay. With all of that being said, we like the Kurds. Now you have different factions in there. Again, you have PKK, that's a different faction. And they worked with us. It's a rough group, but they worked with us. But we've spent a tremendous, and they're fighting for their land. So when you say they're fighting with us, yes, but they're fighting for the land. Now, if we go on the theory that some of the folks in Washington go by, who all do very well with the military-industrial complex. I mean, you know, the military-industrial complex, take a look at Dwight Eisenhower. He had it figured right many years ago. He's got tremendous power. They like fighting. They make a lot of money when they fight. But it was time to bring our soldiers back home. So I see, and I will tell you, The hardest thing I have to do, by far, much harder than the witch hunt, is signing letters to parents of soldiers that have been killed. And it's not only that, in areas where there's not a lot of upside if there's any upside at all. In many cases, there's only downside. And especially when that soldier was killed in a blue-on-green attack. You know what that is, right? That's where the soldier being trained or whatever turns his gun on him. Here, son, take your gun. You know how to use it. And he takes the gun and he turns it. And he shoots one. We have many of them in Afghanistan, in particular in Afghanistan. The hardest thing I have to do is signing those letters to somebody. And each letter is different. We make each letter different. And last week I signed 5 of them for Afghanistan, 1 in Iraq, 1 in Syria from 2 weeks ago. And sometimes I call the parents, sometimes I see the parents. I go to Dover when I can, but it's so devastating to the parents. It's so devastating. When they bring that boy or young woman out of the back of those big, powerful planes in a coffin, and the parents are there. You know, we have people that do that. That's what they do. They work that. They accommodate everybody. That's what they do. They do an incredible job. And I said, the parents seem to be okay with, I'll get there early. The parents seem to be
cipher
okay.
is this?
Well, actually, sir, no, the way they're talking, they're really okay. Sir, you never know until the back of that massive cargo plane opens up and they walk down holding a coffin with 4 or 5 great soldiers on each side of it, representing our various forces. But you never know, and then I see it, and I saw people that were smiling, oh, Mr. President, thank you for being here, thank you for being here, and I think they're doing great. And then 20 minutes later, we'll be outside when that big plane pulls up, and that door comes down, and they are walking the coffin with their boy inside this coffin with an American flag over the top. And they're walking that coffin down this ramp. And I've seen people that I thought were really incredible the way they were. I didn't even understand how they could take it so well. Scream like I've never seen anything before. Sometimes they'll run to the coffin. They'll break through military barriers. They'll run to the coffin and jump on top of the coffin. Crying, mothers and wives crying desperately. And this is on these endless wars that just never stop. And there's a time and there's a place, but it's time to stop. And just to finish,
Guardian, by all
last
means.
Friday I went
Yes,
to
Guardian.
Walter Reed, and I gave out 5 Purple Hearts to incredible young men, in this case, all men. And
Want to take a look, Guardian?
they took a beating.
Hi there.
Beautiful people. They took a beating. One couldn't be there because the beating was so great that he was at a totally different part of the world. He lost a leg, he lost an arm. Ryan. He had tremendous damage beyond even what these young folks went through.
Check.
But I'll tell you what, for me, it's very hard when I see that.
Done.
It's very hard.
Great.
It's easy to talk. It's tough guys. All these tough guys. Let's keep fighting. They had to go to Walter Reed, where they do unbelievable work. I have to tell you, these doctors are unbelievable. You know, it's easy to say, oh, they're the best in the world. I've never seen it.
Expressions won't win the fight.
One young man last week had his nose rebuilt. And they said it was in 1,000 pieces. And I said, so where were you hurt? He said, my face, sir, was almost obliterated. He said, you have a better face than I do. He said, sir, I had a doctor who was unbelievable. And they put it together. He said 1,000 fragments. Now, I don't know if that's even possible, but 1,000 fragments. And they put it together. And his father, who was crying, came up to me and said, you're not going to believe this, but my son didn't have a great looking nose, and now his nose is better. Okay, it's an amazing thing. But when you see these at the Purple Hearts, you see this kind of thing, and I see a lot of it at Walter Reed. And again, the job, those doctors, and